Li Fan acted as though he had noticed nothing, yet secretly locked onto them with formless killing mechanism in return. He simply refrained from activating it. The brief episode soon passed, and the clash between the cultivators and the blue reflections came to an end. Ultimately, only 2 lucky survivors remained. Qin Tang regarded them gently. "The trials are over, you may leave." The stunned cultivators opened their mouths as if to speak, only to see one another's figures slowly grow faint before gradually vanishing from the plaza. Before long, Li Fan was the sole cultivator left behind. Qin Tang looked at him, a complicated emotion flickering in his eyes. He asked, "Why are you still here?" Li Fan answered with an open smile. "Senior brother, you still owe me a jug of fine wine." Caught off guard by Li Fan's reply, Qin Tang froze briefly before breaking into hearty laughter. "Ha ha ha, that's right, I still owe you a jug of good wine." His expression abruptly grew solemn as he faced Li Fan. Extending his right hand, he gently tapped Li Fan's forehead with his index finger. "This technique, the Cloudwater Dream Illusion Art, represents the culmination of my lifetime's study, forged through my blood, sweat, and tears. I hope you will not allow it to be lost to obscurity." A moment later, Qin Tang withdrew his hand. Li Fan's form also began to fade slowly. "I will certainly not disappoint senior brother's trust." Once more, Qin Tang stood alone in the immense plaza, just as he had for thousands of years. "Senior uncle. Master. Senior sister." Qin Tang glanced around him, yet there was nothing to be found. So he lifted the wine and took another drink. Li Fan gradually came to his senses. Before him rose a towering gate, bearing the inscription Cloudwater Palace. A stone statue stood before the entrance. Its chest appeared to have been pierced straight through, leaving a hollow cavity. From its worn and indistinct features, one could faintly discern a likeness to Qin Tang. Li Fan silently studied the statue for a short while, then retrieved a wine gourd from his storage ring. He carefully set it down before the statue. After that, activating the Shadow Stalk art, he swiftly headed toward the direction previously locked onto by formless killing mechanism. The ruins of Cloudwater Palace were vast beyond imagination, even in his former life. Despite more than 10 years of tireless exploration by the cultivators of the Tsongyan Sea, its full extent had never been completely charted. The cultivators who had awakened near Qin Tang's statue quickly divided into several distinct factions. By the time Li Fan trailed them from behind, the entire group had already vanished. If he had not locked onto Sikong Ni and Beilichin in advance, he would likely have lost them entirely. Strangely enough, Sikong Ni and Beilichin seemed thoroughly familiar with the layout of Cloudwater Palace. Their chosen route was flawlessly accurate, repeatedly uncovering paths through mist that appeared impenetrable. They continually skirted hidden buildings, pressing ever deeper into the ruins. Was this how Sikong Ni had managed to obtain the Cloudwater model in his previous life? Further concealing his presence and aura, Li Fan followed closely in pursuit. Without warning, the 2 men halted. After a brief pause, Sikong Ni and Beilichin separated, each speeding off swiftly in opposite directions. A strategy to split and overwhelm? Have they sensed me? Li Fan narrowed his eyes. After a short hesitation, he chose to pursue the path taken by Sikong Ni. Advancing further into the thick mist, he eventually reached a structure resembling a pagoda. Sikong Ni came to an abrupt stop at its base, turned to glance in Li Fan's direction, and displayed a provocative grin. Then he rushed straight inside. Interesting. Does he intend to use one of Cloudwater Palace's lethal traps against me? If so, he is bound to be disappointed. A cold smile appeared on Li Fan's face as he followed him in. The instant he crossed the entrance, a cold, foul wind brushed past him, carrying with it the stench of rot and decay. Scenes from his former life resurfaced in Li Fan's thoughts. This was the Demon Refining Pagoda, among the most perilous locations within Cloudwater Palace. During the first decade after the palace opened, not a single cultivator who entered the Demon Refining Pagoda ever emerged alive. As a result, the cultivators of the Tsongyan Sea had labeled it a certain death zone, strictly avoiding it. It was not until Anchor Year 21 in his previous life that an alchemy grandmaster, after risking his life, finally unraveled the strange laws governing this place. The first floor contained rows of prison cells. However, too much time had passed. Inside remained only heaps of grotesque, oddly shaped demonic bones. Li Fan continued upward. Finding the second floor largely the same, he proceeded all the way to the top. From afar, a low, muttering voice drifted into his ears. All my senior brothers and sisters are battling at the front lines, only I am useless, unable to lend any aid. I must refine more pills, only then can I enhance their strength to the greatest extent. Each additional pill I manage to produce increases the likelihood of my senior brothers surviving. But the demons and monsters within this demon refining pagoda are already dead. There are no ingredients left for alchemy. What am I to do? A disheveled man clad in loose blue Taoist robes sighed in dejection, appearing completely helpless. Nearby, 3 figures hung suspended in midair, bound tightly by invisible restraints. One of them was Sikong Yi, the other 2 were cultivators who had entered Cloudwater Palace alongside Li Fan. Though it was unclear how they ended up here, their faces were pale as paper, their lips moving incessantly, yet no sound could be heard. Before Li Fan could respond, his own hands and feet abruptly tightened, as though shackled by unseen ropes. Leaving him unable to move, he was lifted into the air and secured in place, just like the other 3. Having foreseen this possibility, Li Fan remained calm. Only then could he finally hear the murmured words of the other 2 captives. How did this happen? I clearly chose to leave this place immediately. My vision blurred for a moment, and then I was tied up here. I'm finished. I had already stepped outside Cloudwater Palace, yet I was still seized and dragged back. At that moment, the Taoist-robed man suddenly snapped out of his rambling. It's time to refine pills. He reached into his robes and rummaged around before pulling out 2 green pills. Scratching his head, he looked troubled. The pills are ready, but I have no idea how effective they will be this time. Didn't I just catch a few insects? Saying so, he shifted his gaze toward Li Fan and the others bound in midair, his eyes moving back and forth among them. Which insect should I select? Under the man's stare, an inexplicable chill swept through them. None dared move, they held their breath, remaining utterly silent. The man hesitated briefly, then his gaze fixed firmly on Sikong Yi. Let's choose this one.